Welcome to another podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation.
May I have your attention, please? Your podcast will begin in just a few moments. Upon arrival of your podcast, please enter and move across the aisle, filling every available seat. Remember, all listeners are required to wear their safety restraints while on board. Please keep your hands inside the podcast at all times and enjoy your ride.
Hi, welcome to another episode of In Out Delete. I'm Gio.
I'm Robert.
Ricardo.
And America.
We're a group of friends that work in post-production and like to watch movies, and we rate the movies based on a system of In, Out, Delete.
In, if you liked the movie, you loved it, you want to find the filmmakers and give them a high five and a big hug for making such a great film. Out, if you did not like it and you want to tell the filmmakers, hey, you know what, you guys tried, and that's really all that matters. And delete, if it's the worst movie ever made and you want to rip out the filmmaker's heart and sacrifice him to the gods.
I like that one.
So this week we watched Lion King and After Hours, which was a recommendation from Robert.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Let's kick this off.
Get this shit
All
going.
right, The Lion King.
Life's not fair, is it, my little friend? While some are born to feast, others spend their lives in the dark.
A lion cub crown prince is tricked by a treacherous uncle into thinking he caused his father's death and flees into exile and despair, only to learn in adulthood his identity and his responsibilities.
So I can start this one off.
Okay, that could either be good or bad.
Yeah, so I am out on this. And that's kind of an upgrade to what I said in my prediction, which I was ready to delete it. I went in ready to hate it, but I really didn't. The visuals were like stunning, right? It was super, super realistic. But I think that's the movie's kind of downfall because the voice acting and everything was great. You know, the new voices and all that did their own thing. And I really enjoyed it. But the problem is that the animals are so realistic that they can't make any facial expressions. They're just kind of the same.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, is the biggest issue. Because when they're sad, they look the same. When they're happy, they look the same. When they're angry, they look the same. So you have half a performance, right? A great vocal performance and just like a stiff animal. And so that makes you wonder why go hyper realistic? It looks great, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of eerie. A lot of the emotional moments fall flat and feel hollow because of that.
Yeah.
And so, but I kind of enjoyed it. Like, I think had they solved that issue, I would have been in. I would have seen it as a worthy remake. But because of that, it's just kind of like an interesting experiment to The Lion King.
Yeah.
A really big, expensive, interesting experiment that doesn't really work.
So you're a little on the fence, but leaning towards the out.
Yeah.
Because it's
I appreciate
good.
it. I appreciate it, but you know that's a big problem to have in a movie. Next.
Okay, so like you were saying, yeah, I like the way it looked, and the story is still there. There's still the humor,
Yeah,
you know.
the same thing. Yeah.
The same thing. Little differences that they had to add, I guess, because it's like a.
Well, they had to change it somehow.
Which were
Somehow,
fine. Which
yeah.
were all fine, I think.
So it's like so it's still cool, but the face expressions that made you feel for these characters, you didn't feel them anymore because their faces were the same. You kind of stayed the same.
Yeah.
And then the voices were not all great. I don't like Beyonce's voice. That bothered me.
Yeah, I thought they were all fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that one bothered me, and the
didn't like
generic
the
kid
Simba.
bothered me.
Yeah.
So like it was bothering me in so many ways.
Yeah.
Where actually like I noticed it. You know how like people like you just have to notice the I noticed it and it bothered me. So I'm not a delete. I'm an out. Like so on this one I'm just an out. I knew I was gonna be out, but I was so close to deleting, but nah, because it's still Lion King, you know, and like I don't know if I'm gonna watch it again, to be honest.
Yeah.
But at least they tried, so
Give him a pat on the back.
Yeah, a pat on the back. So I'm in. I mean, I'm in out.
Okay. You?
All right. I'm in. Like, it didn't bug me as much, the whole facial expressions. I think the vocals kind of somewhat, like, help, like, still kind of help out, I guess, in where that kind of didn't come in. Like, they were somewhat strong enough to still kind of give you that emotion that might have been lacking with, like, the face. I do agree with the young Simba. He was a little weak. I didn't mind Beyonce as Nala. She was alright. I'm like, because since it's the same story, it's almost, you take it as this. It's almost an upgraded, remastered version of The Lion King. So it's the same story, same everything. So, you know, if you like the first one, you're going to like this one. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, do you like the remastered or the original? That's pretty much the
only... A new coat of paint.
Yeah, that's all it really is.
America?
I'm out. Yeah. I agree with all of you guys that it was, like, beautiful looking.
Yeah.
And it was. It's crazy that they made that happen. But, again, Simba's voice, it felt like, not just like it was dubbed, because obviously it's a, you know, it's voice acting.
Well, which
but
one?
it felt
the
like...
young one? Or
yeah, young Simba. So it felt like when you watch Rugrats in Spanish. It felt that cheesy to me.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
It's
it was
off
just,
a little
you know
bit.
how... Yeah, it not only is it off, it sounds the same for every character, kind of. Like, it's like a generic-ass voice or something. It just... I don't know. That didn't match. And then I know you guys are all saying it's the same story. I agree. But to me, it felt like it was elements of the same story. Like, nature scenes in between them.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a whole cohesive movie story. It didn't feel like The Lion King all, like, straight out. It just felt like, oh, here's that first part where he's born, and then here's nature, and here's this beautiful thing.
It's the circle of life, America.
Yeah. Oh, man, that scene was the worst. That circle of life scene.
It was so
that
off.
was
Yeah.
really,
Long, yeah.
really
It was
long.
really bad, yeah.
Yeah, it was just I feel like it was a lot of transition scenes, a lot of just, like, look at how beautiful nature is, and look at how good we are at graphics, which is good, but it takes me out of the movie.
Yeah.
So I couldn't enjoy it enough as a movie, so I'm just out.
So unfortunately today Gino couldn't make it, but he still wanted to be part of today's podcast. So he sent us his review for The Lion King. So we're gonna drop it in right here, and let's see what he said. Boop.
Hey everyone, I am so sorry I wasn't here for this session to give you guys my 2 cents, my point of view of Lion King and Robert's pick after hours. But here I am in recording form to do my best of hopefully I compare to one of you guys, but we'll see. So let's get to it. So Lion King, I'm in on this, guys. I don't know how you guys feel, but hopefully you guys are in as well. But but for some reason I feel like either Ricardo or America are out, and maybe Robert as well. But either way, I'm in. I really enjoyed the movie very much. Donald Glover did a really, really good job as Simba. He even lent. I like how he lent his singing voice for the movie. But you know what? It is what it is. I know some fans are not really sure about the movie, but I actually liked it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love it to see the animals pile up in that one moment when Simba started singing the first song. If he was king, you know that song. Seth Rogen he made me laugh as Pumbaa. You know that Timon and Pumbaa thing was really good. Man, you know what? Yeah, but I'm in. My mom's in, so you know, don't get me wrong. But yeah, so. Hopefully you guys liked it too. I don't know, but we'll see.
Warning, spoilers lie ahead. Please do not proceed forward if your film has not been viewed.
And I think, like, I agree, like, that first scene, I thought it was going to be a fucking train wreck because it just didn't fit. That music under that, with those visuals, just did not fit. It's like watching a Discovery Channel documentary with the Lion King score under it. It just doesn't work. Yeah. And one of the reasons that I think you feel like it's not a cohesive movie is because it is beat for beat, you know, the Lion King, the animated one.
It's like the exact same script.
Yeah, but it's a lot slower.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot longer.
You can feel the time.
You can feel that. Yeah. And if you look at the original Lion King, it's paced really well. And it's really perfect. And this one, because it's the same, you know, beats and the same kind of script, but slowed down, it feels off.
Yeah.
And then like I remember they'll be talking so fast in some points where it's just like it's when Mufasa's talking to Simba, little Simba, and he's like talking about the circle of life.
Yeah.
You know how that scene is so cool in the cartoon?
Yeah.
And in this one, they're talking and he's like saying everything is just like happening, and it's like, whoa, where's the reactions? Where everything, you know?
Yeah, because they can't show that. They can't show the expression, the emotions, and
it was killing it though, right? It
Yeah.
was just like messing up the movie for me, but. I don't know. Gio liked it. So.
Imagine they went the Chucky route and put like an animatronic face
God.
on the lines.
Or like the cats.
Hey, would that be?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Okay. Is that what you want? Because that's
No, but I'm not. But this is not my job.
You would have gotten that.
This is not my job. This is their
Or
job.
Sonic.
Yeah.
With the little teeth.
Damn,
This is
Robert,
not-
do your job.
Yeah, this is not my job. This is their job. And if they can't get it right, then
Don't
they
do
didn't
it.
Get it right. Yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
but that's what I was thinking. Like, would it mess it up if they had reactions? Like, would it scare us?
I think
it
Well,
would
then
look
it just-
really scary.
because
it
you're
just
be
begs
like-
the question: so why make this?
Yeah, right.
You know,
like it's like
why is it so important to make it look hyper realistic? You know.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, because I wanted it.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, oh, if they would have added it, would it have got weird?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
it would-
have
it would
been
be
too
scary.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been like cats.
distracting too. It would be distracting.
Yeah.
So,
Super
Yeah. But
distracting.
But that's why I said it's ultimately, unnecessary experiment, an interesting one, but unnecessary.
Yeah, unnecessary.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And a lot of the songs didn't work. Like I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
happy,
Oh.
zippy song
Uh-huh.
in that form doesn't work.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
wanted
I was
them,
telling her.
wanted all the animals to stack up into you're waiting for
yeah.
You're
And
like,
then,
wait, hold on.
no,
I'm
And
gonna do
then
this.
I will say, like the singing in this new one, some of it is really bad. Like they're not singers.
Yeah, I know.
Like
for sure.
Timon
Zazu,
and Pumbaa.
Or
poor,
Pumbaa.
Oh, yeah.
Timon and Pumbaa can't sing.
Yeah.
Although they did great themselves,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did great at all the
I think
comedy.
they
Like,
did-
I laughed out loud, but they can't sing, and
Yeah.
the original actors could sing. So it's really noticeable.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely voice acting, so they could have had somebody else step
True,
in for that
yeah.
who's gonna sound kind of
Yeah,
like
they
their
should've done
voice,
that, yeah.
which Disney, come on.
Dude, but that's what I'm saying. Like in that song, can we? What's it called? Can't Wait to Be King.
Just Can't Wait to Be
Just
King.
yeah, that one. Remember in the cartoon, it's colorful and then
Yeah.
it has like cool. They should have just added that. They could have added.
But there's
like,
a reason.
weird stuff
There's
like
a
that.
reason animation exists. There's a reason why you only do animals in animation, because it's almost a different medium.
Yeah.
Like
It'll-
imagine
it
the
allows you
Looney.
to break
Imagine they say
rules.
imagine they say like, hey, we're doing a live action Looney Tunes, and it's a
Yeah.
fucking real rabbit.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
shit.
Sonic.
Buddy, yeah.
Let's just
It's
wait for Sonic,
weird.
you guys.
Yeah,
It's
it would
just-
be
it
weird.
doesn't work, and there's a reason
Yeah.
for that.
And then my
So-
favorite one in the movie, in the original one, is the one with Scar. Like that whole scene is my favorite. My
Oh,
favorite
those
part.
yeah, be prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's one of my favorite ones. But
Yeah.
did you guys notice that at least in a couple of the scenes, he's always in the shadows? Like he can be talking to, like when he's talking to Mufasa in the beginning, where Mufasa's like telling him, "Hey, why didn't you come to the ceremony?"
Yeah.
Mufasa's like out in the sun, shining down with like in the like, is it shining down on him, and then Scar the whole time he's in the shadows. He's always in the darkness. Even when with Simba, he's always in the darkness. And
Shit,
like
I
you
didn't
have
know
that
that.
Yeah.
separation of he's like that shady dude that don't trust him kind of thing.
I will say that he was the best character translated into the live action version, because all the other characters, all the other voice actors, they found somebody who sounded just like
Except Mufasa.
Which is the same thing. They sounded just like their cartoon counterparts, right?
That's the
with
thing.
with Scar, they went completely different, and it worked. And I think the one song that did work for me was Be Prepared, because they changed it.
Oh, and they made it
they
seem-
molded it to fit the live action rather than trying to shoehorn in,
Make
which
it-
they did to the other songs.
Oh yeah, that's true, I guess. But the what do you call it? Scar? No, Simba? No, fuck.
Mufasa,
Mufasa. There
The
you go.
lion?
K-Pasa.
Oh yeah, so Mufasa is you know how he has the same voice and everything.
Yeah.
You could see, I guess because I seen the movie so many times.
He sounds older.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Sounds different.
and it sounds like
Well, that's natural.
he doesn't like say the lines right.
They honestly, they just could have used the same voice track.
I know,
The
they
original
should-
one. Like,
you know
why
what?
even bother
Yeah.
bringing the poor guy
I
in to
know.
re-record?
You know what? That's true. It for reals because the way he
Royalties.
said- I'm telling you, he talks too fast or something. He's not saying the lines right. I remember I was watching it. I was like,
That may
wait.
just come down
And you
to
can hear the
direction.
same thing.
though.
You can hear the
Yeah.
same thing when he does the Darth Vader in the new Star Wars.
Oh, it's
like
all
it's kind
It's
of
the
off.
same guy?
It's still the same guy, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
You
that.
never knew that.
He's also the voice of CNN.
Wow. I'm learning things. I think they wanted to go all the way different. Like, just completely remake it. I think that's really where their downfall
You know
was.
what? Another thing that bothered me, I just remembered.
What?
Sorry. That fucking Mufasa didn't come out
Oh, in the
in the
clouds?
sky.
He did.
No, but like, you know how he actually comes out in the cartoon?
Like it wasn't a full
There was like a
Mufasa,
silhouette, like you could see him.
but I don't think it was enough for him. Like it wasn't enough for me. Like I couldn't really.
I actually thought it was cool the way they visualized that.
Yeah, I
Didn't
didn't
remember
want
how
it
they
more.
did it in the cartoon?
Like in the cartoon it was like legitly cloud face.
Yeah.
Like
It
this one
so
was more
dope.
of a subtle.
Yeah.
It's like when you look in the sky and you're like, hey, look, that kind of looks like a turtle.
Yeah.
And then your friend's like, where?
Yeah, because like I
Yeah,
couldn't
the
really
marshmallow.
picture
Yeah.
it. Like I couldn't really see it. Like
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was visualized very well. That part.
like it works for like it because it's still in that realistic. They didn't go
Yeah.
ultra
They
cartoony
should've.
with it,
They should have.
but like I guess it worked enough.
Because if
to
they would have done that, I would have been like a little
keep
bit
it
more
more
happy.
like on the realistic side.
Have something.
That's the thing. They're so preoccupied with making it super hyper real that's the biggest downfall of the movie.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. And they wanted to like, I guess, make it last longer or something. I don't know what they wanted.
Yeah.
But honestly,
so
I
much.
did like towards the end. Like I laughed out loud at a lot of the jokes.
Yeah.
And I just kind of started enjoying it. Like the visuals at the end with the fire and all that. That was all stunning.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that's what I was
so
gonna say.
cool, yeah.
It's cool, right? That one looks.
So
cool.
that's why I I didn't delete it because I kind of got into it. It's just that one thing, and it's the most important thing in movie. That's why there are
Yeah.
actors. That's why there are animators.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you could see it, as a cynical cash grab, and that would be fair. And that's how I was going into it. But honestly, I didn't feel that way watching it.
I really wonder what like kids thought about this because we
They
went
love
and
it.
it was
They
a
probably
bunch
love
of
it.
like older people and they were like saying things when
Because
stuff would come out on the
because
screen.
they were like
yeah, excited for it. Yeah,
There was
but I
one
wonder
kid-
like what are the
yeah.
kids
There
like?
was one kid in my theater, and it was a little girl. She seemed to be enjoying it. She was like,
Yeah.
cheering
Yeah,
and
they all
stuff.
love it.
Yeah.
That's their new one, right? That's
and
their.
it's fine. I
you
mean,
think
could-
they can connect
you
to
could-
those animals?
Well,
I
because
don't
they had
think I
already.
would.
It was clear that the kid had seen it.
Yeah.
Already,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So they were just seeing, the same things, and they
Yeah.
enjoyed that. So in that sense, you can. I think if you had never heard of it,
Yeah.
and you're going in fresh as a kid, it's not gonna have the same impact on you.
I think I'd be bored if I was
Yeah.
a kid and I watched
But
this.
No,
if
but
you
that's the
if you
thing.
love if you're a kid right now, you love the animated one, it'd be a real treat to go watch this. So that was Lion King, guys. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hola, amigos. Are you trying to learn a new language, finding it difficult to fit into your new country? If your answer is C, you are in luck. Introducing English Without Walls. English Without Walls will help you learn proper English in mere days, so you will have no problem fooling any racist or stealing that job you've had your eye on. All of your fears of deportation will be alleviated after you learn pitch perfect English with English Without Walls. So, hop on over that wall and learn English today. After all, you're in America, so learn English or get out.
I met this girl tonight, okay, in a coffee shop.
I feel like something incredible is really going to happen here.
So when I got home, I gave her a call. On the cab on the way down here, all my money flew out the window. I didn't really get along with her that well.
What's the matter?
I said, I want to see a plaster of Paris bagel and cream cheese paperweight. Now cough it up. So I left.
All right, After Hours. An ordinary word processor has the worst night of his life after he agrees to visit a girl in Soho who he met that evening in a coffee shop.
Why'd you pick this movie, Robert?
I picked this movie because I love it, obviously, and it's a Martin Scorsese movie, but it's not like the typical gangster Martin Scorsese movie, so it's like a nice little surprise for everybody when they watch it.
I don't know. There's a little mob in there.
Yeah, and I caught this movie like by accident on IFC back in the day. Ricardo, remember those days?
Yes.
I caught it. It was during the opening credits, and I just happened to catch the part where it said Martin Scorsese. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
shit, that's
and I thought it was gonna be like
dope.
Goodfellas or something like that, like Mean Streets. And it was obviously not that. But I got sucked in immediately, and the movie is a fucking nightmare. Thrown in, and you're so scared, you don't know what's going on, and it's so funny. So I loved it. I love the filmmaking. I think it's best absolute filmmaking you can ever have in a movie. So, and I love recommending it to everybody because it's such a surprise. So I'm in, obviously. What about you guys?
Gio?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Better watch Lion King.
Another one of our options. In, out, deleter.
I guess I'm in, but not by much. Yeah, it's not by much, because it just seemed long at times. Okay. Like, after a while, like, he almost does the same thing. So it's like, he goes back to this apartment, and then back to that apartment, and then back to that one. And then, like, it just kind of, he ping-pongs around a bit. Yeah. So, like, that started to kind of get, like, okay, fine. Like, it's just, like, let's move this forward a bit. It's kind of like Running Man, where the dude is just, like, just being chased by everything, and, like, anything that could go wrong does go wrong throughout this whole night.
America, what'd you think?
I'm in. I'm all the way in. I love this movie. Yeah. So I'm in.
Oh, yeah?
I love this movie. Cool. I love these movies that are nightmares. Like, this movie literally was a nightmare.
Yeah.
This is my type of movie. It gives you that, like, eerie, like, you don't know what's happening. It's surreal. Like, it's all looks normal. Everything looks normal. Everything is normal. But it just has that hint of something is not right.
Yeah.
Something's off.
And it just puts you in a nightmare. Like, your dreams obviously can be like that, you know? Like, it's just like, what happened? Even if it's not a bad dream, it's like, why would that happen? So this is my type of movie. I loved it. Yeah, it looked really pretty. It gave me that, like, scary feeling. And then it kind of brought you full circle. You see this man unhappy with his life, and then where is he at again at the end of the movie? So it just, to me, it's like, it's resolved. He obviously gets out of the nightmare. But to what? Just to his regular ass boring nightmare. Yeah. So it's a good movie. I thought the story was good. I'm in.
Ricardo.
Yes. Yes, I am totally in on this one again.
I knew you would like it. I did. I picked it just for you.
Yeah, for sure. That is cool, and thanks because as a little kid, I would always see the case of this one, and I never got to watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, you know when you go see...
I never heard of it before I watched it.
Because I would turn the back, and then you read the director. Yeah. And I remember I would always be like, okay, one day. And I never got to watch it. I never got to watch it. So
you sold your VCR or what?
Yeah, it was VHS, though. So I went like this. Yeah. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so the movie had everything, like... Actually, like, I always want, like, my first feature, be like a movie like this, where it's a one-day thing and it's happening, and it looks kind of, I don't know, but everything that was happening in the film is hilarious and, like, exciting, and you're in the moment through the whole thing. Even from the beginning, you know how, like, it starts off, like, the way it starts? And I think that it still has elements of Martin Scorsese all over this shit. So it's cool. I see everything. New York. I see, like, the music is so dope. The camera movements. Yeah, the camera. Yeah, the music is so dope. So, like, it's all Martin Scorsese. He even comes out. I saw him. Yeah. So it's all cool, and so I'm totally in and dopeness.
Yeah. It's almost like a horror comedy because it's so unbelievably scary, and not because, like, there's monsters or, like, there's a threat of him losing his life. Just like the situations he's in, where
it's like, how could this happen to me?
It's like it's everything seems fine and seems real, but there's always that hint of something being off. And I love the little in the score, the clock, the little ticking clock. That adds to the element of the nightmare, because I actually, throughout my life, I've always had those. In my nightmares, like a little ticking.
Oh shit!
So it puts you in that state, and it kind of I do see how you feel kind of slow, because it kind of like it lures you in almost,
because it doesn't give you anything.
Because you have
really.
You have him meeting it shows him on a regular day. It's very monotone. Even his apartment is monotone, right?
Yeah.
Everything is the way he dresses and everything, and it gives you that little hint when he first meets the girl. And he kind of likes her, and obviously he's very, he's horny, so he wants to get with the girl. So it gives you that little bait, just to chase, and you go along with him. Well, maybe let's see, let's go hang out with this girl and see what happens, have a good time. Yeah. It's just little things just keep dropping in that just don't seem right, but not.
It just adds to your frustration, because it doesn't give you anything. It doesn't. It never drops it. It just it's just telling you, like, here it comes, but it never gives. So it's not frustration. Enough, so I see.
Not enough to make you, like, turn around and walk away. Yeah. It's just like little things, but you'll put up with it to be with that girl.
Yeah.
the girl.
And then when it just all goes to shit, you're like, fuck, now I'm too far in that I can't get out.
Yeah.
As a viewer and the character in the movie.
Yeah.
It's that girl, right? With all the shit in her face.
Yeah, from Pulp Fiction.
See, right away I say that and nobody understood.
Yeah, I was like, which one? Like,
and I kept saying, "Oh, the one with all the shit in her face."
So like, I think the reason why you feel like he just keeps going to the apartment and stuff like that because it's kind of like he's in a maze, you know?
Yeah.
He's in a maze of his own.
No matter where you go, you can't get out.
And I love when he first goes on a cab, you know, to him.
Oh yeah.
It's like a ride into hell. Almost.
Oh yeah.
That caught me off guard.
I wanted to ask about that too. That like zoom speed up. What is that an old timey thing
so
or
they
is
used
it?
to back in the day that when they wanted to make things go fast, but without doing it fast, they used to shorten the frames. So in film, it's 24 frames a second, right?
Yeah.
So they took some of those out. So you're seeing like 10 frames a second, and that gives it the illusion of going faster.
Okay, I knew it. Yeah, that's
a cool
because
technique.
I've always liked that. I don't know. I love that, and I know that it's a speed up thing. And now, when you want something to be faster, you obviously turn up the frames per second so it can look smooth. It won't look jumpy. But that's one of my favorite things ever. It really gives it like this scary, like it's nostalgic because you see this in older movies, right? So there's that aspect to it, and it just really like it's like what the fuck is it? Like it looks wrong.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things. Like it reminds me of like Beetlejuice or something. Like it's just
Tim Burton did use it a lot.
Yeah. So that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. And just there's so much like blue in it.
I do love the colors.
The color is great. And they're all very intentional. Like the waitress or the cocktail waitress, like she's all yellow. She has the rainbow and everything. So I think with all of their characters, they're very intentional with their colors. He's beige. Yeah. So I don't know. This movie is really, really good.
One little fun fact: did you guys notice both of Kevin? What is it, McAllister?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cheech and Chong.
And Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, that was really cool. Little cameos in there.
Yeah, I never recognize actors, but I was like, hey, those are the parents.
When I saw those, the dad, like from Home Alone on behind the bar, I was like, at first I was like, is that the dad? And then like, because I saw that Catherine O'Hara was in the movie, like I recognize her name in the credits. I don't know his name, but I just recognize his face because of Home Alone. And so I was like, wait, both my parents are in this movie?
And well before the movie, too.
Yeah. Dan, I know how.
So they met that night, right? And then moved to the suburbs.
And then Chicago. Their kid had a nightmare.
That's why they're so fucked up, because so they can't remember their kids. But I love all the obstacles that he has to just keep coming, keep piling on, and don't allow him to get home. And it's so frustrating as a viewer, and it's so, like... Because you want to go home too, you know. All you want to do is go home, even though it means the movie would end. All you want to do is feel comfortable, and it never lets you feel comfortable ever. Maybe for like a second or two, but you know that the threat or whatever the nightmare is just imminent, and it's always there. It's in a constant state, like of just tension.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I love those one day movies when it's just like in one day. You know, like Training Day or like Good Times. Yeah. It's all like in one day and shit is just happening and happening. So this one was perfect.
That's why. That's another reason why I picked it. I wanted to be in that theme of bad trip movies.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know, but like I'm super in, and I'm glad I watched it, and I would recommend it to anybody.
To me, this is a movie that I would watch again. Like the first time I watched it, it still left me a little bit confused, you know, and like I want to go back in there and understand it again. Like so, this is a movie that I will within a week watch it again. You know, like so. I don't know. It's one of those that it kind of keeps giving you things whenever you watch it again. So yeah, I really want to watch this movie again.
I think it became like at least top 7 best Martin
it's one of my favorite,
Martin Scorsese films, though. Like for sure.
I wonder though, like what is the message of this movie, right? Because he has like, pretty much a regular dead end job, 9 to 5. And he decides one day out of the blue just to try to do something different, right?
Let's see what you wish for.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was starting to lean towards.
Life just gets him, chews him up, spits him back out to exactly where he was before. So what is it? Is the message just like, hey, don't even try to get out of your comfort zone because you will get fucked up.
I think it's be careful what you wish for. And I don't know. One of the first movies that it was ever made, the Factory Workers. Coming out? No? It's maybe, like the Lumiere brothers or whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, and it's just, you just see the factory workers coming out and then going back in or whatever. I think that's what the beginning and the end was. Just the whole monotony of like, even the first movies were boring.
Yeah.
You know, it was just look life. At people living, you know? So I think this kind of was that, because I think it's literally, the old movie is literally just like people opening the gates and then people rush out.
Yeah, it does sound familiar, yeah.
So I think that's what the first and the last scene were. So I thought that was really cool, like a nice little, and it looks pretty too. Like it's an interesting shot.
And it was because of that guy, right? That he's like training, and he says, "Oh, I don't want to do this."
It kind of gives him that feeling of just doing the same thing every day, being tired of your normal job.
Yeah, and
it
it's
kind of
validates
funny.
His if you hear what he's saying, because you know how like they move away and then like they go to his thoughts, but you can still hear what that guy's saying. Like, it's so funny because he's like, "I want to make a magazine, but like for people that."
He's very like idealistic.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Typical young worker, because we all thought like that.
Yeah,
we're like, oh man, I don't plan to be here for the rest of my life. And now we're like, no, this is a great job. I want to stay here, you know?
For sure.
Me and my freelance life.
That's what I thought of.
Yeah, so that you know, because of that scares. That's why I don't go out, because like, no, fuck it, I don't want to, you know, get into a fucking nightmare and not be able to come home. You know,
you know what?
I'll stay my ass in bed.
Remember, there was a couple times where I was still working at Starbucks, and we went out like on a random Tuesday, Wednesday or something. I was just like bored with life. I was like, fuck this, we're gonna go out. And when I was working at Starbucks, I would have to be at work at 4 or 5 a.m. And we went out to a bar. We don't leave until closing time, but we actually left, I think, around 12. Because we're like, whatever, we'll get a little bit more sleep, or I'll get a little bit more sleep before going into work. Lost my car. Didn't find my car for like 2-3 hours. Like literally hours.
We're walking through
Got home, took a shower, and went to work. And it was like, it's one of those times where you're just like, okay, I've had my fun. I'm kind of done. Like, let's go home. Let's get this over with. Like, let's go back to life. And you just can't sometimes.
You need a night like this to remind you, like, no, stay in line. Because what's outside of that line is terrifying.
Well, maybe,
but also, stay out of the lines too.
Maybe they're trying to tell you, like,
take an
not
Uber.
just live, but like after hours. You know, like.
Nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m.?
Everything after hours is crazy.
Crazy as fuck. Yeah,
it kind of is when you really think about.
Remember in Taxi Driver he says that all the animals come out at night. So, but
right. So it looks like we're all in. Yeah. Like I'm enthusiastically, except for Gio.
It just seemed too long, and it ping-ponged the bit.
Again, Gino couldn't be here today, but he sent us his review, and we're gonna play it right now. What do you think, Gino?
Let's see. I am definitely out. You know, I'm not feeling this version of Scorsese, and also I didn't really like the storyline of the film. I was getting bored. In a way, like I get the dark comedy, the jokes, but part of me was like, man, this is boring. You know, and don't get me wrong, actually, the storyline was kind of interesting at first. You know, this miserable guy, and then towards the end, then he's trying to get laid. Of course, he doesn't get laid, but then like all this fucked up shit starts happening like back to back. So he's having a shitty night in general, and then and you know, it ends him going back to the office and start again. So in a way, like I like that. You know, I don't know if it's a theme, but it's something that got me going, fuck, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, man, but yeah, this is, I was hoping to be there to discuss with Robert what the hell was that about, because Robert really, because I'm like, you recommended it for a reason, but why? Like, what's your take on it? You know, I wanted to see, you know, or basically like to hear what's the reason of like why he liked the movie so much. Me, like, I'm just so used to the gangster style, you know, Martin Scorsese films. Like, this took me to a whole different, like, what the fuck? And you know, and I looked up some trivia. Of course, you know, he was trying to do, like, Hitchcock-esque style, but you know what? It worked out. You know what I mean? It worked out well for the movie, but I am definitely out on it. I don't hate it that bad. I mean, it's not, I should say, a bad movie. It's just, for me, it's like, nah, I'm good, you know? Like, but yeah, so far, that's my opinion about it. And I wonder what your guys' opinion are on this.
All right, everybody, make sure to tune in next week when we'll be watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And Ricardo's pick, which is...
Fruitvale Station with the Michael B. Jordan.
Black Panther.
And yeah, Black Panther. And the director was
Fantastic Four.
He's in Fantastic Four?
Yep, he was Johnny Storm.
Oh, and the director from Creed and Black Panther. Yeah.
Cinematographer Rachel Morrison, I think.
Yeah. And,
cool. Look her up.
I really enjoyed this film, and then when I watched it, I actually this is my type of film that I also want to make one day. The way it looks and stuff. So
what do you guys think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? What does it look like to you?
America?
I am excited for it. I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm not the biggest Tarantino fan. I like his movies, but I wouldn't say that I would line up right away. Wow. You know, I'm not that kind of person. I do enjoy his movies a lot.
Yeah.
And you like Shrek.
I love Shrek.
Shrek 5.
The one with the babies is the best.
I kind of have a feeling. What do you think?
Oh man, I'm too excited. I don't even know what to say. I'm like,
it's gonna go
shivering.
beyond and
beyond. And then that's the thing. That's the problem. Because I hope it's like.
You can just say you're gonna be out. That's the middle of the road, and then
no,
because you can still like it and be out.
I'm just saying I'm too in that I feel like even if it sucks, I'm still gonna be in or some stupid shit.
You're gonna find something.
It's like a fanboy thing. It kind of sucks. That kills it, because. Yeah. But it looks.
So you're
great.
ride or die.
Yeah, but it looks great though. To me, and then the topic is great. So, come on.
Yeah, murder.
Gio?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna probably be in. It's not ride or die Tarantino over there, but I do enjoy his movies. I think I'll probably be in.
Yeah. I'm super fucking excited for this. My prediction is I'm gonna be super in, and I can't wait. I haven't, the last two Tarantino movies I haven't really liked, but this one looks really good. And I know I'm kind of setting myself up for huge disappointment.
Cut to next week. Yeah, I'm deleting this movie.
That's why I'm scared.
Yeah, honestly, I'm ready. If it comes to that, I'm ready to be hurt. But I can't.
And then I feel like this is gonna be an Academy Award winner. So
yeah,
that's how I feel. I think it might be the best film of the year.
Ride or die.
So, so find out next week what we all think. Until then, good night.
Bye.
Yeah.
Laters.
Thank you for listening. Please exit the podcast and don't forget to collect all your belongings and young children. We hope you enjoy listening and have a great rest of your day here at In Out Delete.
This has been a podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation, working for a better tomorrow for all of mankind.